The best way to fail at indie game development is to never try. But if you never try, you'll never fail. So let's assume you do try. Here's how to fail. So maybe you need a tutorial to teach people how to play your game, but you're not so sure about that. After all, your game is very simple. The UI is very clear, the mechanics are self-explanatory, and every level or point of progress is laid out obviously. Come to think of it, you actually don't need a tutorial after all. Only complete idiots will fail to understand how to play your game. But one day you are going to make your actual dream game, so you might as well make a tutorial for this game as practice. Be sure to make the tutorial first, before you've made the rest of your game. That way, when some mechanics need to be reworked or even completely overhauled, the tutorial will also need to be completely redone as well. Setting yourself up for this type of spirit-breaking, soul-crushing sort of realization demonstrates excellent forethought. Good job. Don't give the player the option to skip the tutorial. You're going to put a lot of work into it, and by that I mean about 15 minutes worth of effort. Sure, there are some players who just like to learn on their own, even in really complex management games. And there are some players who might already know how to play the game and are starting again. Or perhaps players who have watched someone else play the game. But they don't matter. The tutorial is not optional. All must play the tutorial. Also, keep in mind the longer winded you are in the tutorial design, the better. People enjoy being stuck in fake levels, unable to progress until they have read every single bit of text and accomplished every single task in the exact way and order you've prescribed. And don't leave anything out, no matter how obvious it might seem. The only people who will use your tutorial are idiots anyway, remember? They're going to need as much help as they can get. In the tutorial itself, try to use as much text as possible as well. Longer is better because that's why people play games, so they can read a bunch of stuff. I mean, you could use pictures, simple animations, or even video, but these take thought and effort. Never mind the fact that images are much more understandable, especially to those who speak different languages, and can get the point across many times faster than reading. Besides, you've always wanted to write a novel, now's your chance. For highly complex games like city builders, resource management, or high-level simulations, again, just write your novel of a tutorial and only show it once at the beginning. Having guidance at the player's fingertips ready for when they decide they might need it really wouldn't be a tutorial at that point, because tutorials are only supposed to be at the start of the game, right? So try to give the player all the information they could ever need for the entire game right at the start. That way they will be able to remember it all easily. If you spread digestible concepts out with a gradual introduction to new mechanics, people won't be able to enjoy the best parts of your game right away and could lose interest. But don't worry, they won't lose interest while reading how to play because your game mechanics are just that cool. Overall, the more you can separate the tutorial from actual gameplay and progression, the better. Making it difficult for a player to distinguish between tutorial and game is only what successful developers do. So as always, don't do that. And if you follow all these instructions carefully, then you are bound to succeed at failure. Hey, hi there, how are ya? Thanks for watching. Once again, you've watched all the way to the end of the video, and now you're listening to me say random things to fill in that 20 seconds of time where I can put on thumbnails in the hopes that you might click on one. You can click on one, but if you do, then you won't be able to hear me say the final word of this video. And that word is pine tree. Yeah, that was a good one. Oh crap.